Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely.
What is up? What's going on, everyone? How's everybody out there? Appreciate you guys being here. Hope you guys have had a good last few days since the last time that I saw you. Did not stream yesterday. Had some remodeling going on in my kitchen, so it was super loud. A lot of banging, lots of banging going on. So wouldn't have been able to hear much. But I wanted to get in here today and get with you guys and start back a new week. What will be a new week for us of the show and the things we're going to be talking about. Now, didn't go yesterday because it was a bit of a, or not, sorry, not yesterday, Thursday or Friday, Wednesday or Friday, because it was a bit of a slower news week last week, and somewhat this week as well. There are some things to talk about, not a lot, but some things to definitely talk about. So I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you being here, Quanzimoto. Appreciate you being here. She loves fantasy. Lawrence, Groovy. Appreciate all of you guys. One's watching, one's in the chat. Appreciate all you guys being here to hang out, talk about all this movie stuff that's going on. Let's see here. I don't know who that is. Okay. So let's first. What's up, Xavier? Appreciate you being here. Let's first start with we'll start with the Star Wars stuff. Start with the Star Wars stuff first. Yesterday, as everybody knows, was May the 4th. May the 4th was yesterday, and what an underwhelming May the 4th it was. Star Wars did not give anything yesterday as some expected them to, and I will just go here to this. Now, it's always with a grain of salt when it comes to these things. You have to um, you have to trust or believe what you believe, or kind of just go off the tea leaves. But here is one of the things that I was kind of clinging to. Again, grain of salt with all these things, but I was kind of clinging to this, and it was some of the announcements that were supposed to be made, or some things that were going to be dropped on May 4th, or I don't know. Heard nothing about Ahsoka season 2. Heard nothing about, and again, the rest of the stuff was all speculation. So you had the Tales of the Jedi, or Tales of Luke Skywalker, that was maybe going to be announced, that wasn't announced. And I don't even know if that's ever been in the works, or or I don't really know if they even give a fuck about Luke over at Lucasfilm. Then you've got, well, I know Dave does. I don't know, and he is the new president, so maybe the tides are shifting. I don't know. then games, I don't really give a damn about the. We know that's coming. The Jedi third installment of Jedi Fallen Order. We know that that's coming. That's something they've been talking about for a while. The actor Cal Kestis, he is talked about it, so we know that's coming. Ahsoka season 2, nothing. Tales of the Jedi, nothing. The only thing that Lucasfilm gave us yesterday was a Happy May the 4th. They changed Disney's little intro when you go on to the Disney app, and then of course gave us the Maul finale. I was really expecting a bit more from them. I guess as the past what 3 May the 4th, we've gotten Tales, so I've kind of gotten spoiled to some type of Tales announcement. But no, nothing from Lucasfilm. Now George Lucas did give a Happy May the 4th announcement the other day with his wife. With his wife, and this is what he said. It was just a cool little video they did.
May the 4th be with you.
Very good. Okay, but let's do that again.
Okay, we'll go together. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. May the 4th be with you. Excellent. Not bad.
Is that their house? I wonder if that's their house. Yeah. I mean, nothing from Lucasfilm yesterday. Nothing from Lucasfilm. Actually, I take that back. They did give that clip that no one gave a flying shit about, and I'm gonna get in that in a minute. Gave a clip about or for Mando Grogu. Now, if you go on Disney Plus and you look at the special look that they give, it's the look that they gave at Star Wars Celebration 2 years or a year ago or whenever it was, of him going up on the walker, boom, 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 taking out the snowtroopers. Very cool scene. But all these clips that they've given so far for the Mando Grogu movie, again, fail in comparison to anything that they just showed us in the Maul finale or in the 10 episodes of Maul altogether. I said it before Maul started. Unfortunately, I was going to talk about it. However, watching Maul, and then when you put out a clip of Mando Grogu that you put out, it just doesn't. It can't compare. In my opinion, they don't compare. So on over to Maul. Well, actually, before we even go over to Maul, I'll say this. This is the clip. Let me see. Mando Grogu. Was it from Star Wars yesterday? Let's see what they yeah, I think Star Wars themselves put out that clip yesterday. Now they had a special showing or something for individuals. I don't know who these individuals were, if they were random people or people that worked on the movie, or family of people that work for Lucasfilm. I don't know. However, they had a showing, and I think they showed like 20 to 25, maybe 30 minutes of the film. People were saying they liked it. Some ladies, I saw somebody's post that she cried and all this kind of stuff. I think that was her. But yeah, no, again, as I've said, I don't even know if I'm seeing this in theaters. I'm trying to find that damn clip. Let me see here, actually. Let's go back. Okay. Maybe it wasn't on there, but that's okay. It's all right. So yeah, they shared that clip, which I think I actually bookmarked. They shared that clip, and with that clip, it was just more. Yeah, here it is. It's more of the same. So let's see.
Hang on. we'd get him. Not yet, sir, but we will. We missed him! He's under us! We have him. Fire.
And then this clip leads into the special look that's on Disney Plus currently. So, and again, I like the action in it. I like the action in the special look that's on Disney Plus. I've been saying I think that's the thing that they should share to the world on, like, TV spot or something, trailer. However, this does come out May 22nd. I don't know how this is going to do. It may do great because it's Star Wars, because it's Grogu. It may do numbers. I don't really know. I know it's not one that I will be personally seeing in theaters. And this will be one of the first times in a Star Wars film that I don't go see it in theaters. But no, I don't. I will not be seeing this one in theaters. Now, had you done something like they did with Maul Shadow Lords, then you have my attention. This was, I think it exceeded, I know it exceeded my expectations on what I was expecting Shadow Lords to, or the finale of Shadow Lords to be. I was trying to find that one clip the dude posted. However, great. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. One of the things that I had been saying from the very beginning, not just myself, a lot of other Star Wars fans have been saying it too. Vader has to show up. Vader's going to show up. Vader's going to show up. And I don't think this is just a one-time occurrence that Vader's going to be showing up either. I think we are going to see Vader show up more than once. I think he's going to show up if they're doing however many seasons they're doing, because there is 16 years in between now and then the time that we see him again in I think that's Rebels that he shows up at. Yeah, or not Rebels, sorry. Solo, when he shows up in Solo talking to Kira as the leader of Crimson Dawn. Dryden Voss, who we see him extract them from Janix, is who he overthrows or kills, or backstabs rather. I want to say overthrows, backstabs, to becoming the leader of Crimson Dawn and things like that, positioning Kira and him and all types of stuff. It goes deeper into in the comics as well. However, when I said that Vader was going to show up, I thought it was going to be something akin to Rogue One. How he showed up at the end of Rogue One, we got some great Vader moments, and then that was it. The entire episode was them running away from Vader and fighting Vader, and I loved that entire sequence. I didn't expect Rook to die. I did not expect her to die at all. I guess that expels the rumors of her being the armorer. The way that they portrayed Vader when he comes through the fog and then, goes at all of them with ease. Where is that? Let me see if I can find that scene here, where he goes at all of them. Why does it making me do it like this? Should be latest. It was actually the very beginning of this, but this is where they're running from him. When he goes at all of them with ease, though, it says, it's Vader. It's Vader. It's peak Vader. It's what we watched in this scene here. Just how he's effortless. He's effortless as he's taking them out. It's what you watch in Rogue One. It's what you read about in the comics. It's what you hear about in the original series, how that Vader was this ruthless Sith Lord, but now you're seeing the way that he kind of is in his older days. I've always wanted peak Vader, and we're finally getting peak Vader. I think we got peak Vader also in Jedi Fallen Order if you played that. So seeing that, it's a combination of that, Rogue One, the comics, and all of that stuff, and it was great to see them actually utilize Vader. I saw people saying that they wish he would have talked. I'm glad he didn't talk. I mean, not only that, Vader's not much of a conversationalist anyway, unless it has something to do with Obi-Wan or Padme, or unless he's talking to the Emperor about whatever the Emperor's talking to him about, whether that be in Inquisitors or the many conversations they have in the books and comics and things like that. But Vader's not much of a conversationalist when it comes to other individuals. Um, um, so I don't really know what him and Maul really would have discussed anyway. I'm not sure what they would have talked about while he was there. Um, I saw people saying that, he could have taunted him with, Qui-Gon, like I killed Qui-Gon. I don't know that that really holds the same weight that it does with Obi-Wan. To Vader, you have to remember this is no longer Anakin. This is Vader. Vader's feelings toward Qui-Gon are not the feelings that he has of hatred toward Obi-Wan. So I don't think that that really would have vexed him to go at Maul anymore. And not only that, Maul's already taunted Obi-Wan with Qui-Gon and things like that. So that's not, I don't even think that was the angle that he would have taken. So yeah, I like the fact that he was the Michael Myers of it all. I like the fact that he was quiet. I like the fact that he was stalking them. I like the fact that no matter how fast they ran, he walked faster. And he just overpowered them. And again, it was with ease. It's like Maul said, you're no Inquisitor. And Maul started to realize who he was, but at the same time doesn't want to accept that that's who he is, because by accepting that is Anakin, because he knows it's Anakin. I mean, you have to remember he did have the conversation with Ahsoka during the Siege of Mandalore when he said, I orchestrated this entire thing to lure Anakin here, thus depriving Sidious of his prized pupil. So he knew that Sidious was trying to turn Anakin to the dark side. By acknowledging that is Anakin, he then acknowledges that Sidious was successful and that happened and blah, 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 blah. He, I think, believed at the time that Anakin died during maybe the Jedi Purge as well. But he also realized that that's Anakin. And, when he asked him, what are you? And all those things like that, it was so good. It was poetry. It was great. It was great. It exceeded my expectations. One of the things that I constantly talk about and always want are stakes, and there were stakes. There were stakes in this. I saw one or few people saying that there weren't any stakes in the finale. I disagree. We lost people, and there was loss. Let's put it that way. There was loss. Captain Lawson died. Which I think is going to have an effect on Riley's future and wherever we see him next. I think him and Devin are going to have some type of tie or bond to one another as far as her caring about him and him caring about her. Whether that takes him on a dark path that's taking Devin down, or whether that takes him down a different path and he's the light that's constantly in Devin's ear, I don't know. But I do know that Riley in some way, shape, or form is not done with this group. I think that, again, the loss of his dad is going to have some effect on him. I've seen some theories out there that Captain Lawson may not be dead because he was the last one that actually saw Maul betray Daki, and he could be the one to tell Devin that. I disagree with that. I think that he is actually dead. Again, that's one of the things I hate that they've been doing in Star Wars. If you kill someone, then they can easily come back. I think if you have a death as clear as day as he's dead. And likewise with some of the other people that that died in the show. But when Daki died, when they killed Master Daki, that was definitely as a viewer, for me, a very conflicting moment watching. Like, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. But I also was like, because the way it happened, Maul betraying him, Maul pushing him into his death, and obviously saving himself, which I don't expect Maul to have any type of allegiance or anything toward Daki. But it was Daki convincing himself that him and Maul were in that whole thing together. He kept telling Maul, we can do this, while Maul was telling him, you need to fight with aggression because he knows what you are. He knows you're a Jedi. He knows how to fight against you, and things like that. But Daki kept telling him, and looking to him for reassurance, like, yeah, we've got this. And then, for Maul to backstab Daki the way that he did, and then Daki go down. As soon as you see Vader start doing those heavy ass swings with one hand, it's pretty much over from there. This here I thought was phenomenal. And then also seeing um Maul get exactly what he wanted by pushing Daki closer into Vader's grasp while he flees, limping away with the cybernetic leg, which Vader was relentlessly going at, and again, effortlessly. That's one thing one of the things I love about Vader. Sometimes he'll have to use, depending on who he's fighting, he may use two, but for the most part, Vader's using one, and he's still just and standing straight up and just effortlessly taking on three a Jedi Master, a former Sith, and a Padawan, and just again with ease, That's Vader. And so then I like again when he's fighting them, and then he when Maul finally gets away from Vader and limps away, and then he's watching as Devin is realizing and sees Daki die. I like they everything is poetry with Star Wars, and I love the mirroring and things that they did. It was the same way that if you go back to anytime that Sidious would do it with power, when he did it with Anakin, when he stepped back in the shadows with the cloak on and was smiling when he turned Anakin into, or when they put on the mask for the very first time, and he says, "Where's Padme? Is she safe? Is she all right?" He says, "No, I'm afraid in your anger you killed her." He starts force crushing everything. You see Palpatine in the back in the shadows smiling. Same thing in Tales of the Jedi when Dooku and Yaddle fight. Palpatine steps back. You see him in the shadows smiling. It's the same thing here that they did with Maul. When Devin sees Daki die, and then she has that Sith voice come in when she yells, "I'm going to kill them all," and then starts to fight the Crow, the Inquisitor, the 11th brother. Maul is walking in the background of the rocks, smiling, getting exactly what he wanted from this. And that was a Padawan. That was someone that could help him get the revenge that he's after. So I do not believe that we are done with Vader. Vader now has to go back to Palpatine, because in order for Vader to even, obviously, as you guys all know, it's chain of command here. We knew who Maruk was talking to. We knew when he said they've got my lord, they've gotten away, blah blah blah. He's talking to Vader. In order for Vader to even get dispatched, he has to then take that information to Palpatine. Maruk already told Maul, the Emperor wants you dead. The Emperor is already well aware of the first time that he had to get involved with Maul. We saw that fight between Maul, him, and Savage on Mandalore, where he killed Savage and captured Maul, which later takes place on in the comics, where he ends up killing Mother Talzin. They capture Maul, blah 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 blah, this kind of stuff. Then Maul gets away, and then it goes into the final season of Clone Wars, where we see him escape for the last time. So it's not as if Palpatine, again, is not aware. It's not as if Palpatine did not try to dispose of him the first time. And if Maul continues to get too powerful and continues to get all these allies and the Syndicate and everything else under him, now he's no match for the Empire. But it's not as if Maul's trying to be a match for the Empire. He is just simply trying to get to Palpatine. But I do not think we are at the point yet where he is, because you can see it in his face. You could see it in his face even when, like, especially the scene there where him and Daki had run away. Daki had sent Devin on ahead to try to find Lawson and Riley and Two Boots. They were standing in this rock area, and Maul says to Daki, "You've got to fight with aggression. He knows how you fight." And Daki's telling him, "No, I don't think so." Blah blah blah. Vader straight up punches through the rock like Michael Myers, comes through, and like it's moments like that. It was the moments like that that were like great, really, really, really great Vader moments, really great moments, showing you just how terrifying Vader truly was. And again, they conveyed that in animation on Maul's face. You could see how terrified he was, especially even when Vader was overpowering him at one point. That's when he force pushed Daki, when he realized, I'm no match for whatever this is. But I don't think that he he has given up on fighting Vader yet, because I think they're going to fight again. But see, this time Maul's going to be under the impression that my cybernetic leg was hurt. I think he's thinking about that. My cybernetic leg was already hurt. 2, I didn't have Devin at my side, and that's what he's been trying to get so that he can extract his revenge and get where he wants to get. He didn't have Devin at his side. So I think he believes if I have all those things, I've trained Devin up, and then like he told her, then once I've trained you, because she tried to go at Vader, he says, you're not strong enough. Let me train you to where you can be strong enough. Then we will have our revenge. She agrees to it at the very end of the episode and says, I'm ready. I think he thinks once he trains Devin, once he gets her ready, once he gets himself back ready, then the two of them together can take out Vader to get to Palpatine, which of course is a fool's errand. That's not going to happen. As we do know, Devin, if she does eventually turn into Talon, is not in the future with Maul when we see him next on Mandalore. And I'm not Mandalore, Malachor, in Rebels. So either she dies at the hands of Vader, or she, just leaves Maul's side, goes on her own journey, goes somewhere, and she's just somewhere in the galaxy. But I don't think it's going to be that simple. The reason being that they're even doing all of this is because, as I said at the top of this, Dave is now in charge. Dave is president. These are some of the feats and things that George himself wanted to put into the story that is now the Rey story and this botched sequel trilogy. This was going to be it. It was going to have, as I've said before, I'm not going to go into the details of it, but because I've said it before, but it was going to be Maul and Talon. So instead of that being the overall arching villain, you're still getting Maul and Talon, but you're going to get an underworld story with Maul and Talon. So we're going to still do that whole underworld story that Maul has, but now you're just adding Talon to it. And instead of him rising up, trying to take over after the Empire falls, like George wanted, it's just going to be the story that he currently has with these new pieces of the 16-year gap filled in. And again, I think within that gap, he does get Devin exactly where he wants her. He's going to turn her into Talon. It's exactly what George wanted. They are going to run the underworld together. He is going to be the Palpatine to her Vader. However, when they do meet Vader again, and it is going to happen again, I do not know if it's going to be in their second meeting, but Talon will not make it. Devin Talon will not make it out of Maul Shadow Lords when it's all completed. I don't know if that's season 1, 2, 3, however many seasons they do, but I don't think she makes out of it when it's all completed, because again, we do not see her on Malachor. And that would even add more weight to what we already know he says in Rebels, when he says the one they call Vader will be here soon, and I cannot defeat him alone. I wonder if it's on Malachor that I don't know, but some good shit, man. It's some good shit. They really, really, really cook when it comes to animation. I've always said, and I will continue to say, I think they thrive in animation and need to stay in animation. I love the live action stuff they do, but they just thrive in this. The stuff you can get in animation that you cannot get in live action is enough. Play all of this, but I can skip through it. But see the 2 there, the 1, Vader is, and they made him so OP, so great. Like when the fact, I'm gonna pause there so it doesn't do anything. All the force using too. When he stops Maul's saber with his hand, and then Maul stops his, and he just force grabs Maul and starts force choking him. It was great, bro. Like, it was great. And again, I don't know what they would talk about for the people that were wanting Vader to talk. I don't know what it is that Vader would say to Maul, what the conversation would even be. Vader's not a conversationalist like that. Unless it had something to do with Obi-Wan, that would pique both their interest. But no, that's I don't know what they would talk about. He already knows the Emperor wants you dead. He got the word from the Emperor, finish this, Lord Vader, or whatever Palpatine told him. And he goes in. That was that. I mean, there was nothing more that he could say or do that was gonna start a conversation. Here. Boom, boom, boom. Just great. Great. Some good shit, man. You can the fear in Maul's eyes there, right there. The fear, and see, that's one of the things that I was saying about Maul before we even, before we knew for sure that Vader was going to show up. I said Maul's one of the things about Maul, he's way too prideful. He's way too prideful to ever admit defeat. And I don't even think he's going to really I don't think he really sees it as defeat here. I think he sees it as, he in Maul's eyes, I think he got what he wanted. Yes, I lost Rook. Yes, I lost other people, but at the end of the day, I got Devin. I got my apprentice. So, yeah, there were casualties. Yeah, I mean, but also, let's look at it this way. If you take yourselves back to Mandalore, take yourselves back to season 7 Clone Wars, when Mandalore was getting overrun by the clones and they started losing, Gar Saxon called to Maul and said, "My lord, we're being overrun and we need your help." Maul said, "No, my ship is going to be here any minute. Die well, Mandalorian." So it's not as if Maul has these connections and ties to people like outside of, unless you're Savage, unless you're his mother, or now I think Devin. So it's not as if he has these ties and connections to people like that. So at the end of the day, yeah, I lost Rook, who's been loyal to me since, I ascended the throne of Mandalore, and I lost a few people that I've met along the way. But again, I got the ultimate prize. I got Devin. I got exactly what I wanted. So I don't think he sees this as a loss. I don't think he sees this as a defeat. I think he sees Vader as obviously more than an Inquisitor, which he said, "You're no Inquisitor." He knows exactly who Vader is. He has already told Talon that, or Talon, I keep calling her that. He's already told Devin that, my master purged your Jedi Order, now is the Emperor Palpatine, and da 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 da, which is information that was not privy to her prior. Now she knew his master was a Sith Lord and all that kind of stuff, but she knows it's Emperor Palpatine till he laid that information down to her. So, now she wants revenge. She wants revenge on the Empire. She wants revenge on Vader. So that revenge and that hunger for that revenge and that hatred is going to drive her even more so. Maul's going to feed on that. And again, he's going to think that they're unstoppable. He's going to think that they're unstoppable. He's going to think that he has done the same thing that Palpatine managed to do with Anakin, and that was unlock the hatred and anger that he already sensed in Devin before he even turned her completely. So I think that, yeah, we're definitely going to get some really good shit with them. I don't think it's like, oh, season 2, she dies. Like, absolutely not. I think season 2, we're going to get some real good shit with the two of them. We're going to get some, they're going to, I don't think, because it also, it's kind of like when people were saying, oh, I would really love for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to be in Brand New Day. No, because then it cheapens and it cheapens what we just did in No Way Home. It takes away that magical effect. Vader is not this this character that in a show like this that you bring in every episode. Rebels did it really well. He was in a lot of Rebels, but they did it in moments. And sometimes in those moments that he showed up, it was only for a few seconds, but those few seconds had such weight and such an impact on it because of who Vader was. It was like, damn. So I think I don't think Vader needs to show up in season 2. Personally, I don't. I think you keep it up with the Inquisitors, and if you need to, send the Grand Inquisitor, because he is alive at this point in time. We haven't gotten to Rebels yet. He is alive. Send the Grand Inquisitor if you have to, but I don't think you use Vader again. If you do show Vader, it's hologram. Then he's talking, but he's talking to the Inquisitors. If you do use Vader, maybe some events happen. Maybe this is where Maruk dies, because he still has not died yet. As we know, he is dead in Ahsoka when Ahsoka kills him, because the Night Sister magic comes from him. So maybe some event happens in season 2 where, again, you're still sending the Inquisitors, the weight of the, and I want to say that too. You could feel the weight of the Empire in these final 2 episodes. When I say that, I mean, like, no matter what Lawson's 2 boots at the time of Maul's team that he had before everybody died, had everybody with him, no matter what it was like literally levels to a video game. You escape one level to get to another level where the Empire's now sent more Republic gunships, more ground troopers, and you just can't escape the grip. No matter how many stormtroopers they killed, they sent 2,200 more. It's like they could not, and I loved it. I loved it because it felt impossible. It felt like it was impossible for them to get off Janix. It felt like, how the hell are they going to get to Dryden Voss? It felt like when Dryden came in, Dryden might get stranded on Janix too. Like you could feel the weight of the Empire on top of now Vader's here and you got 2 Inquisitors. So maybe again, it's not as if the Empire is going to say, oh, well, we didn't get them, so we got to let it go. The Empire is going to be relentless on this. Now that we know that not 2, but there's 1 Jedi in the Sith Renegade Maul, oh, we're going to go after him because he's one escaped the grip of Vader. So I don't know that Vader's going to have, because again, there's very few things Vader's obsessed with. Padme, Obi-Wan. I don't think he sees an obsession in Maul. But Palpatine does. Palpatine does. I don't think Palpatine sees Maul as, again, take yourselves back to Clone Wars. When the first time that they talked to Palpatine about Maul, as the Chancellor, they went to, I think some members of the Jedi Council might have went to Chancellor Palpatine about it. And he said, what does it matter? Maul's running around with a few pirates. Let him. It doesn't matter. We have a war. He's like, we're fighting a real war, the Clone War. But I'm not saying that verbatim, but basically what he was saying. Then you fast forward to when he was sitting alone in his office as Chancellor Palpatine. He was meditating and you could hear Palpatine's music around him. And then it was everything that Maul was doing at Mandalore when he had just conquered Mandalore. He had killed Pre Vizsla. He had killed Duchess Satine and lowered Obi-Wan there, started the whole, big siege and all that kind of shit. He's seeing all that, sensing all that, feeling Maul growing in power, feeling him growing in anger and hatred and things like that. That's when he says, okay, I need to get involved. Tells Masamune to get my ship ready. I'm going to Mandalore. Goes to Mandalore, suns the fuck out of Maul, kills Savage and all that kind of stuff. But again, if Maul is still being relentless, regardless of if I'm seated as the Emperor, you've now obtained an apprentice. As the Emperor, he's going to be able to feel that as well. He's going to be able to feel the anger. He's going to be able to feel that hatred. He's going to be able to feel Maul growing in power. That's not going to be something he's going to just let go. So I don't think he's going to say, Vader, go and finish this until, again, I think maybe Maruk dies in season 2. I think some Inquisitors have to lose. Maybe you show one of the Inquisitors that were in Tales of the Empire that we have not seen come up yet, because the other Inquisitors, we kind of know their deaths. We know how, I forget her name, that dies at the hands of Barriss. We know how she dies. We know how the 11th brother dies. He dies by Ahsoka. We don't know how Maruk dies. But there's some other Inquisitors there too, that were in Tales of the Empire that haven't shown up. So you could have them show up. They get their asses beat or something like that by Maul and Talon, to where it forces the Emperor to say, okay, Vader, then, you have to go again. And then it's like maybe season 3, you see Vader again. Now, I don't know if I said this too, when I was talking to a friend about this. I don't know if we ever get to the point where, and I don't think we should, personally. I go back and forth with it. I would like to maybe see Palpatine step down and do something again. But at this, because he did in Force Unleashed in the video game, he did get involved. He did step down when Vader couldn't kill Starkiller. He stepped down and fought Starkiller himself and things like that. Now, again, video game, I know that. But there are moments where Palpatine does get involved. Very rare, but there are moments where Palpatine does get involved. So you could have a moment there where Palpatine does step down again. But then I also want Palpatine to just be this, at this point in time in the Empire, this figure, because has he dissolved this? No, he hasn't dissolved the Senate at this time. He hasn't dissolved the Senate. He's not. So the Senate is still a thing and everything at this point in time in the timeline. But I want him to just be this, what Vader basically is. Vader is a myth at this point in time. Vader is not well known at all or known. He's known amongst Palpatine. He's known amongst Tarkin, and maybe a few of the other higher up Imperials. But as far as just regular Imperial stormtroopers and the Inquisitors, they all know Vader exists. But the galaxy doesn't know that Vader exists because he's not that police force yet. He's not the Emperor's leading dog at this point in time in the timeline. The Emperor has him a hush hush. So, and I like the fact too that the Emperor's more of a shadow. You hear about the Emperor, they talk about the Emperor, but it's rare that the Emperor shows up to Senate meetings. It's rare that he'll show, unless he's showing up, to twist and move something according to the way his plan is supposed to go. But it's very rare. So I don't know if I want Palpatine to step down and fight Maul. I don't know if I want it to get to that point. But maybe they do get it there. I don't know. But this has been great. It really was great. I thought that they did a phenomenal job. Really, hats off, bravo. Like I said, people died, and that was something that I cared about. I was like, we got to have deaths. We can't have everybody surviving. So it was great. I hope that they continue to do more animated Star Wars. I hope that notes are taken from the fan reaction to Maul and to future projects. I know it's too late for Mando Grogu to get this type of feel from it. But this, again, I'm sorry, I know that there are some that are still looking forward to Mando Grogu, and I'm not knocking shine at all on anybody. This felt like Star Wars. And even if Vader didn't show up, I feel like that you were kind of at that moment where you just had to show up. But even if he didn't show up, it still felt like Star Wars. That's one thing I don't like. I don't need Vader to have Star Wars. I don't want you to just inject Vader all the time. But when he does show up, it's moments like this, and it feels amazing. So they did a damn good job. Terrible May the 4th, but good job to them on everything that they did here. All of this was great. Let me get to this scene here. So this is great. Just like the power, just the power scaling that they had on Vader 2 was so accurate, because this is accurate. I don't remember who it was that told me Maul would wipe Vader. Absolutely not. There was never in any universe was Maul ever doing anything to Vader, the chosen one, to Anakin at all. Vader's that guy. He's OP. He is. And this is, imagine if he would have never failed on Mustafar. If he didn't have the robotic arms, if he didn't have the robotic, like he would have the one robotic, forearm from Dooku. But if he didn't have the robotic arm, both of them robotic, both of his legs robotic, only this stuff is him, still being able to, tap even more into the force and everything like that. I think you just imagine if he didn't have any of that stuff, he was still Anakin. Yeah. He would have been far worse than this. But again, this is also terrifying, I'm sure, for them, because Vader's like, what, 7'5", 7'6", something like that. Mechanical. You can't really hurt him. They're exhausted. He's not. This was just great, man. The Inquisitors going at Devin and Daki. Daki looked great too. He actually looked like a Jedi Master. Let me see, Maul and Vader. Now, okay, I'll agree with something too that I saw Star Wars Theory say, and I agree with this completely. The power scaling here doesn't make sense. Ahsoka was able to, just obliterate these Inquisitors. The Crow, especially. The Crow, I think, got maybe one or two it was like he was going fast while Ahsoka was moving in slow motion. She was, dodging the saber while he was slashing her. Then she grabs it. puts it in, and then kills him. Yeah, Maul is injured, but even if Maul wasn't injured, there's nothing that Maul really could have done with Vader. And here's what I'll say. Here's why I say that. Maul struggled with the Crow and Maruk. Yeah, he was putting up a good fight. Maul looked great against them, but they also looked great against Maul. I can't say that the 11th brother or Maruk at any point in time looked like they were struggling against Maul. It was great it was great lightsaber battling, but I didn't see the struggle. I don't even know if Maul was playing with them, because why would he? What reason would I have to play with you when you're trying to kill me? You're trying to kill me. You just told me the Emperor wants me dead. Why would I want to play with you? And how I know he wasn't playing with them, because you can see it in Maul's rage. I don't really want to leave this, but I will. You can see it in Maul's rage here when he's fighting one of the Inquisitors. When he's fighting one of the Inquisitors, let me see. Actually, I really wanted to pull the scene where he was talking to Maruk. When he told Maruk, "You are nothing more than a pawn of Palpatine, just like I am, and he sent you here to die," and all this kind of stuff. Blah blah blah. I don't think Maul was playing with them. I think he knew the severity of the moment. I think he knew what they were and things like that. I don't think so. I don't think so. Again, Vader's just on a completely different level. Hurt Maul completely at full health Maul. There's nothing that Maul could have done with this. That I mean, you had all three of them. You had all three of them at one point in time. Daki, who is a Jedi Master, Devin, who is a Padawan learner still, but a Jedi nonetheless, and again, a Sith Renegade, the Shadow Lord. You had all three of them at one point in time, lightsabers drawn, going at Vader, and still not enough. Yeah, that too, where they did that to him. It's just effortless. That right there, how he did that. Boom, boom, boom. Hitting, the way he just slashed Maul in the back.
Together, we can do this.
See, that's what I mean. Daki really, I don't think he put trust in Maul, because it was like he was telling Devin, do not allow the Shadow Lord to fill your head and things like that. Do not put all your trust. Don't trust him. All this kind of stuff. But I think he felt in that moment, we're both trying to survive. As you said, there's a bigger evil than Jedi and Sith at this point in time. So I think he really believed they were at that moment on sides. Look at Maul. Yeah, man, that's a yeah, there you go. The enemy of my enemy situation. That's exactly what it was. But Maul is still Maul, that part too, when he just oh, they couldn't do anything with him. I loved it. This was great. This was really, really good, man. Boom. That right there. Boom. So good, man. So good. Again, it just shows you the power of Vader, and Maul's going to remember all of this, as he's training Devin. I'm sure he's going to tell her that, because in her training, he's going to probably train her the way that Palpatine trained him. In ways, probably. So probably in ways like that. So he's probably going to tell her, you know, by taunting her, you're not strong enough. You're not yet strong enough to defeat Vader, if they know his name, or whoever, if they find that out, or anything like that. You're not strong enough. You're still not strong enough. It's constantly taunting her during it all. Yeah, it's great. And this was sad. Fucked up. Fucked up. Fucked up. Fucked up. Man, I was like, damn. I knew Docky was gonna die. And Lawson saw that. But you know, I still think Lawson is I still think he's gone. Like I said, I don't know if Riley's path leads to a bounty hunter, leads to joining the rebellion, leads to being, you know, a part of the crew as a mercenary person. I don't know. But I think him and Devin are still tied in some way. He was very much concerned about her during the entire since they've been on the run from the Inquisitors from his house. Every time something happens to her, he's very concerned. Every time something happens to him, she's very concerned. I mean, it's more than a concern of my master told me to watch over you. It seems like, you know, love exists, and, you know, they're young and they might go down that path. She, you know, the Jedi code is she's no longer Jedi for sure. So don't know. We don't know exactly. Don't know. But I do think that his role is bigger than so. And I don't know what they're going to do with Two Boots either. Because Two Boots morally, and not that the robot has morals, but his programming. I mean, he did help the Lawsons and defy his programming. However, I don't know that he's going to. Maybe he stays loyal to Riley. Maybe he stays loyal to Riley. You know, there's always that bounty hunter smuggler droid duo. So maybe he stays loyal to Riley and they become a type of duo. I don't know, but I do not think Riley's just done. Now here comes the poor Docky. Poor Docky. So sad. Yeah, I do want to get it to the death part though. I don't know how many seconds I gotta pause. It was at this moment when I was watching it, when the swings were coming in like that, I was like, oh, okay, this is typically his finishing move. This is where he's gonna end it. Evan could feel it. Very sad. Very sad, but I loved it.
No! No! No!
Yeah, great. And then this too. This was what I was talking about. Where you got Maul, Shadows, getting exactly what he wanted. And then he throws her his. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So, yeah, May the 4th again wasn't that great. Maul Shadow Lords was absolutely phenomenal. All 10 episodes are streaming on Disney Plus or third-party site if you have that or don't have Disney Plus. And Mando Grogu comes out May 22nd. If you're excited for that, let me know how that is as a theater experience. And I don't know anything else that is coming out for Star Wars as of now. I'm not excited for Star Fighter because again that leads to Rey. Who cares? And the other stuff that they have that's going on, I don't even know if they're still doing the Simon Kinberg stuff. I don't know, but that's Star Wars. That's Lucasfilm. Again, when they do stuff like this, they shine. When they don't, it sucks. This is the last thing, actually. According to Daniel RPK, he says that Star Wars could be saying goodbye to the Mandoverse. Says for years, Star Wars fans have watched the Mandoverse grow from a single breakout hit into a full-fledged interconnected corner of the galaxy far, far away. What began as The Mandalorian quickly expanded into multiple spin-off crossovers and long-term storytelling plans under Lucasfilm. Now, however, new reports suggest that era may be quietly winding down. According to industry insider Daniel Richmond, Mandalorian Season 4 is reportedly no longer moving forward, while a separate scooper claims Ahsoka Season 3 has not been greenlit and may never happen, combined with a lack of updates on other spin-offs. The future of the Mandoverse appears increasingly uncertain, marking a major shift in how Star Wars approaches its Disney Plus storytelling. Richmond's report aligns with growing senses that Star Wars is pivoting away from the once ambitious Mandoverse expansion plan, while noting while nothing has been officially confirmed by Lucasfilm, the absence of movement on multiple projects is becoming harder to ignore. Notably, there has been no concrete update on the Book of Boba Fett Season 2, because there's never going to be one, or Skeleton Crew second season. With both now expected to be one and done projects, even The Mandalorian, the longtime anchor of Star Wars Disney Plus era, appears to be transitioning away from the episodic storytelling. Instead, the franchise is consolidating its efforts. The upcoming film, The Mandalorian and Grogu, set to release May 22nd, will continue, blah, 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 replacing Season 4. Meanwhile, Richmond claims that Ahsoka adds another layer of uncertainty while Season 2 is set to debut later in 2026. The idea that the third season may never materialize suggests a broader strategic shift toward fewer interconnected shows and return to the cinematic temples. And I think that's what they need to do anyway. I think they need to get back in theaters. I don't think this whole Mandoverse thing, I never knew where they were going with the Mandoverse anyway. It never made sense. At the very beginning, it made sense. But then you had that terrible third season of the Mandalorian and Grogu. Then Book of Boba Fett was just dog shit. Then you had Skeleton Crew that I didn't even watch, so I can't speak to its good or being bad. I know the viewership wasn't there, so let that be what it is. Obi-Wan was shit. Not that fed into the Mandoverse stuff. Ahsoka Season 1 had its moments, but overall not that great. So yeah, the Mandoverse, like, what were they going to do? All of them going to team up and fight Thrawn? Like, what? I don't even know what they were going to do. So yeah, no, that needs to be taken out back. So go ahead and take that one out back. And I want Thrawn too, but I want Thrawn too. But let's find another way. If they just did Heir to the Empire, that storyline with Thrawn, you could still somewhat do your botched Mandoverse or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, that's that. Let's move on here to Michael. All right, so Michael has been having a heck of a 2 weeks, and I love it. Not just the film, it's Michael in general. I'm seeing Mike everywhere. I love how much I'm seeing him. I love how new fans are finding him. I love how people are dusting off records. I love how you're seeing people dressed up at the theaters, people in the parking lots, people dancing, people staying after the credits. You're seeing some theaters in other countries that are putting on Michael Jackson music videos after the after the movie's concluded, and people just staying around and hanging out. He's on the radio. He's everywhere. Mike's been everywhere. It's a resurgence, Michael mania, and I love it. 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 But this is also expected anytime it comes to Mike. I'm always going to say that. I'm always not going to act surprised anytime Michael does the things that Michael is currently doing. I saw a tweet where somebody said they believe that if Michael would have never passed, he wouldn't be on the godly status that he's in. And again, it just speaks to the lack of knowledge that a lot of people have, it seems, on the internet when it comes to Michael Jackson. Obviously, just like I always say, next to Jesus Christ, he's the most famous name in the world. So a lot of people obviously know who Michael Jackson is, but don't know who Michael Jackson is. They know Michael Jackson in name. They know that, hey, that's the Thriller guy, that's the Beat It guy, that's the moonwalking Billie Jean guy, or they might know him as some of the nasty, disgusting allegations that got smeared over 17 years, or some of the memes, or the, hey, he's the guy that went from black to white, or the nose job guy, whatever the stuff, but you know who Michael Jackson is, regardless of whether it's for the music or some of the other stuff. People know who Michael Jackson is, but a lot of people don't know who Michael Jackson is. That's the conversation I had with Chill. I think Chill obviously knows who Michael is, but he doesn't know who Michael is. This is why he couldn't concede with the numbers that we are currently seeing, as it's well on its way to make $1 billion. And it's also why we are seeing some people make the statement saying that they believe that without his death, he wouldn't be on a godly status. Michael was on a godly status before he died. Michael was on a godly status in 1982 or 3 when Thriller dropped. That was the godly status started there. So regardless of Michael Jackson, Michael was on a godly status even at 50 when he did the This Is It tour and sold out all 50 tour dates in 20 minutes or less. I think it's what it was. So I mean, Michael's Michael again, regardless of if you're here, there, up there, over there, Pluto, Mars, this continent or the next, under a rock, under wherever you are, Michael's Michael. He's going to do that. And like Perp said, that one stream, anytime that it's 1v1 and you got Mike involved, you always bet on Mike. He's having the best streaming week ever of his career. It says the King of Pop is back on top. Michael Jackson returns to #1 globally. And it says with tracks combined rankings across the major music platforms following a surge in streams sparked by renewed interest in his biopic. This one here says Michael Jackson is currently the artist with the most songs charting inside the global Spotify chart. Billie Jean, Beat It, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Human Nature, Smooth Criminal, Bad, Dirty Diana, They Don't Care About Us, Thriller, The Way You Make Me Feel, Rock With You, Chicago, Remember the Time, PYT, Want to Be Starting Something. All of these classic songs. I mean, it's just, again, it shows the power of Michael Jackson. Shows the power of Michael Jackson. And not only does it show the power of that, I think Mike currently, as we are talking, is sitting at, I think, 430, a little over 430 million. And it still has not opened yet. Let me make sure I have this right. Yes, here we are. So Bohemian Rhapsody took 5 months in theaters to gross 900 million worldwide. Michael has already smashed 420 million. This was 17 hours ago. As of that time, it has crossed 424 million in just 11 days, and it hasn't even opened in Japan or South Korea, 2 massive ticket markets. $1 billion run is not just likely, it's inevitable, because Michael is inevitable, and that's just what he does. So I continue to celebrate. I continue to I don't know if I've seen the TikToks of people saying it. So it's not just me. It's like even myself, I've had a little a resurgence. Not that I never stopped loving Michael, but since the biopic, I have been listening to nonstop Michael. I've been watching just nonstop things over that I've watched before, but just rewatching them. Obviously, because of the things I'm liking, he's all over my For You page. He's all over, people are making Twitter videos saying the same thing, that they can't escape it. They're just playing his music everywhere. And it's great. It's great. So I'll continue to celebrate Mike. I'll continue to watch this film as it crosses that $1 billion, because it is going to cross that $1 billion. And, people still going to the theaters, dancing in the theaters, dressing up and doing all the things that they're doing. It's the Michael effect. So, I just continue to watch it daily. But yeah, as of right now, I know it's sitting a little bit over 430 million. And then once it opens in those two other markets, it is going to hit that $1 billion. The movie has rewatchability, of course. So I know people that have already seen it 3 times. Well, not like, I don't know them personally. I've seen people that have talked, TikTok videos of people saying, hey, this is my 3rd or 4th watch. I'm going to see it again. I'm going to see it again. So yeah, I've seen it twice. I haven't seen it the 3rd time yet, but I have seen it twice. Again, great stuff. And if you have not seen it, go see Michael. Go support this film. Go support the King of Pop. Jafar was talking about part 2. He did say that he was, let me go to that on YouTube there. Hold on. He said that he was ready for thing that he's looking forward to is Smooth Criminal for part 2. Now they've already done a lot of stuff that is going to be in part 2 that we have not seen yet. We've seen some of the BTS photos of Jafar in the Dangerous Era, or during the Bad tour, things like that. So he looks great. Still looks very much like Michael. I know once he said he's looking for a Smooth Criminal, but I'll let him say that.
Do you still, because did you lose yourself in Michael a little bit? Have you gotten yourself back? Have you gotten Jafar back?
I think so, absolutely. Yeah, but I enjoyed every second of it in Michael's world, and I miss it. I definitely do.
Your bedroom was Michael's bedroom, correct? Is that right?
Not growing up, but I grew up in the same house. Yeah.
It's the same house, but not the same bedroom.
Not the same bedroom. Well, I had a few years where I did sleep in that same bedroom, but my main bedroom was, I think it was my Auntie Janet's old room. Yeah.
You were in Janet's room.
Ready whenever you are, Michael.
Do you know what I'm after? You want to be the biggest star in the world.
Hey.
You can change the world.
What does it mean that family is here again? They went to Berlin. They came here tonight. Everybody's here, and people have been so enthusiastic about this movie.
It means everything, especially to have family. I mean, that's where it all started. Especially with my family, we grew up always wanting to continue that bond and to have that support and feel it on a night like this. It couldn't be more special.
Okay, your dad saw the movie for the first time in Berlin. You walked up on the stage. You didn't have a chance to really interact. But what was that like? What was that moment behind the stage when he finally could say what he wanted to say?
It was so emotional. He cried. He couldn't even say much, and I knew that's how special it really meant to him. It was all in his eyes, and he just couldn't be more proud. And he still calls me just saying how proud he is and can't believe that I was able to pull it off in that way. And it's to hear that, that's all I want to hear from my family.
Did you ever dream about this moment too? You guys have shut down all of Hollywood Boulevard. It's at the Dolby Theater where they have the Oscars. This movie is that big, and this is your movie.
It's really surreal and incredible. Coming into it at first, I didn't think of all this stuff. I'm only thinking about, the work and preparing. You don't really think about all this, and this is a whole other beast, to kind of take on. But I've been enjoying it day by day and really appreciating seeing all the fans and people come together just to feel that love that they have for Michael. It's incredible.
You are now a leading man. Have you been reading other scripts? Do you have something else you're going to do before you do this second part of Michael?
I've been reading many things, but there's a few things that has caught my eye, but it's really on timing whenever I'm available after finishing Michael. So we'll see, but I can't wait to get on to the next thing.
How far along have you all gotten? Because I know you've shot some other stuff, and we've seen scenes where you're like walking with Nia and other things that weren't in the movie. So how far along have you gotten?
Well, I don't know. That's a better question for Antoine Fuqua or Graham King. But there's a lot we shot. I can't even keep count of how much we shot footage-wise, and I mean the days were it was many months of shooting. But I know there's a lot more to be told in Michael's story, and the audience will want more.
Is there a song that you want to perform or a performance you want to do if there's going to be a second part? Is there a moment you want to capture that you haven't captured yet?
Ooh, since I was a kid, Smooth Criminal is always my favorite.
You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
and still is as far as a
It's the
performance.
best. The video.
So
I
it'd be an
love
honor
that
to do
video.
that.
So you're ready for Smooth Criminal.
We'll see.
You have the lean? Do you got the lean? Are you ready for the lean?
Oh, as a kid, that was my favorite move. That was my favorite move, and I always wondered how he did that. Yeah, until I figured it out.
Then you figure out. Now you know the secret. Jafar, congratulations. You are fabulous in this. I'll see you in January, bro. I'll see you. Golden Globes. Know the day.
I appreciate that. No, thank you.
They those Jacksons they all have the same mannerisms, just they're all the same. Jafar deserves all the attention and things he's getting, for sure. For sure. Let me address some of the comments here from the Star Wars stuff. Let me see. Let's see. Torian said Maul finale was fire. Xavier said the saber battle was fire. She Loves Fantasy said Saber's fights were fire. Professor said good morning. Appreciate you being here. He said I saw Michael over the weekend and loved it. Yep. It's good. It's a good one. Xavier said he enjoyed Vader being the silent menace. You know, I keep doing that because I'm not used to. I need to keep putting these up here. She Loves Fantasy said, at this stage, he's just a machine who is unleashing his anger on all of the Jedi or anyone who challenges his master. Yeah. Torian said, Vader didn't break a sweat and did all that lightsaber work with one hand was crazy. Yeah. Good stuff. They understood the assignment bringing him in. Quasimodo said, Dave's tying loose ends together and trying to give us quality fan service over quantity shit. Yeah. Can agree with that. Wolverine, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Professor, I need to catch up on my Star Wars content. Yeah, depending on where you're going. Yeah. Or unless you're one of the sequel fans. I know Perp said he's excited for Rey, so Quasimodo said, does Maul take place before Solo? Yes, Maul takes place before Solo. This is so Dryden Voss. I don't know if you watch the show, but Dryden Voss is the dude from Solo that I can't remember if does Kira kill him or Han kills him. I forget how he dies. But in the comics, which is still canon to the stuff that's going on with Maul, Kira, you see kind of the behind the scenes, more stuff with Crimson Dawn, him and Kira, and how he has kind of groomed Kira as one of his apprentices, not a force wielding apprentice, but someone that he can use within the syndicate underworld, and which he still does. So I'm expecting maybe Kira in season 2, because this would be around. I would expect Kira to show up in the Maul show. I don't know if it's season 2 because I don't know about where on the time we would be. But I would expect Kira to show up as well, because she is somebody that Maul uses as a tool as well. Again, not as an apprentice, but he kind of treats her like one. Also because too, we still need to see what event is that? We still need to see him get back to Dathomir, because that is where he is at in Solo. At the end of Solo, he tells Kira, come to me on Dathomir. So yeah, we still need to see him get back to Dathomir and all that stuff and all the in-betweens. Like I said, I think it's like from there to Maul, from Maul to Solo, how many years is that? I don't know, because Maul's older. He's older, visibly older. So I'm not really sure. Palpatine did fight Rey. That's not in my head canon, but that yes, he did fight Rey. Lawrence said Maruk first brother and the Crow 11th brother. Yes. Said they were barely handling the two Inquisitors. Johnny Lawrence said, so where's Talon in this timeline? I keep thinking Devin is Talon too. Devin, I believe she is Talon. She's going to turn into Talon. She probably won't be Darth Talon because, Maul doesn't really subscribe to the whole I mean, he's still I guess he still subscribes to the whole rule of two thing because he doesn't see himself obviously as a Sith anymore. But Devin's going to be Talon. I don't know if she's going to. They'll probably drop the Darth and she'll just be Talon, but she is going to be Talon. He said Obi tried to tell him he had the high ground. Let's see. Lawrence also said you're talking about Vader. Wolverine said, I'm going to see Mando movie. Yep, that's like I said, some people are still going to be seeing that thing. I just am not spending my money on that one. Perp said they need Andor level of quality moving forward. It shouldn't be hard. I can give you the Andor quality. I don't know about, Andor for me wasn't one of the good ones. But I can't ignore how beloved it was. Professor the film fan said I put my MJ Theater picture on X to check it out. Perp said Michael Jackson is referenced a few times in One Piece. Luffy even was moonwalking. Yeah, all forms of media, all over. She loves fantasy says she loves Andor. I love that scene with Mothma. It's a great scene with Mothma. All right. Let's move on to something that has been surprisingly I say surprisingly because it's not as if the first two seasons weren't good. But something that has been surprisingly good because of all the changes and things that the show went through, the lack of cast members returning, how long it took for the show to even come back from season 2. Season 2 was a while ago, a long ass time ago. I don't even remember season 2 except for maybe key events. I remember Lexi had the big school production that she put on. I remember Fezco got arrested. His little brother was in the tub and I think, died, got shot up by the FBI police that busted in. Rue met Lori. That's the most of it I remember. I barely remember anything from Euphoria season 2. But surprisingly, I can't call it Midphoria because surprisingly, season 3 has been. Now we have strayed. Now, don't get me wrong, we have strayed completely. I don't even want to say straight completely, but we are in a much different place than where we were in season 1 and season 2, and not because the characters are growing and things like that. No, I don't really see growth in any of the characters, but maybe besides, I don't see growth in any of the characters. But we're in a different place. We're doing different shit, but it's still a really fun and interesting ride. This last few episodes, we're only on episode 5, going into episode 5, but episode 4 was great. Episode 3 was great. What's the actor's name? Let me see here, because a lot of people didn't return. A lot of people did not return. Euphoria season 3 cast. It's her new boss. So she's not working for Lori anymore. If you follow Euphoria, she was working for the White Lady Lori. She's no longer working for Lori. She is now working for, what's his name? Alamo? I'm trying to find the actor's name. I can't. Oh, okay. Well, I guess other people on Google were trying to find it out too, because literally when you type in Euphoria season 3 cast, comes up black guy. So I guess other people were trying to figure out who he was too. Yeah, he plays the character Alamo. He he's doing great. He's doing great. His character is really interesting. He's funny. Uh, you got Marshawn Lynch, who's also in it. Um, the different stuff that's going on. I mean, you still got your typical stuff with drugs and Rue, but you got just like typical Euphoria. You got the different aspects of different people going on. You got what's going on with Cassie and Nate. They are married. Nate's in debt, getting his ass beat by this like mafia type people who, spoiler alert, I don't know who was all into Euphoria or whatever, but took off his pinky toe. They cut off his pinky toe, beat the dog shit out of him, left him bloody on his wedding night. Got Cassie crying in the corner, typical Cassie shit, always crying, talking about like what's going on, like this is my wedding, stuff. It's then you got what's going on with Rue over here. She was working with Lori, where she was going over the border with fentanyl bulbs or whatever they're called, where she have to you swallow them, the shit like shit them out when she got over to Mexico. She was working for Lori. She's not working for Lori anymore because the fentanyl that she was carrying killed one of Alamo's girls. So now Alamo, in exchange for her killing one of her girls with some laced ass fentanyl, now she's got to work for Alamo. and there's so much going on. Now she's not working for any of them. Now she's working for the police. She got caught on the side of the road. She got pulled over after leaving Lori's house with a bunch of shit. They already got pictures and camera work of her in Mexico working for Lori and all types of shit like that. So now she's a certified snitch for the FBI, where she's about to get caught because of how suspicious she's acting around Alamo and shit like that. He's one of those characters that they do such a good job of. He does such a good job of portraying the boss, drug dealer, drug lord person, that he makes it. When she's acting crazy, I get nervous as the viewer as to what the fuck he's about to do to her next, because he could tell that she's acting different and acting weird now and all this kind of stuff. So we're about to see how that plays out. Lori had a bird. I know I'm all over the place with this, but because there's so much going on in the show, like it's so in many different places. Lori, who she worked with, the previous drug dealer lady she worked with, had a bird. Alamo wanted revenge on her, so she killed the bird. They poisoned the bird. The bird dropped dead. It's like so much shit going on. Rue, like I said, she works for Alamo, but he like runs this like strip club, but also does drug stuff throughout the strip club and whatever. So her job at the strip club is to make sure the girls are okay, make sure the girls are taken care of, make sure the money's all right with stuff, make sure the guests are happy and all this kind of stuff. And it has been a wild ride in 4 episodes. And my question at the end of the 4th episode was, with this being the last season of Euphoria, and I don't know how many episodes are in this season. We're currently going into 5. I don't know how the fuck they're wrapping this up. I have no clue, absolutely no clue, unless it's going to be some, weird scapegoat writing way out of this. I don't know how they're going to wrap this up, because there's so many different plot points going on, and there's just too much going on for you to say that this is the last season and we're done. I don't think they could go another season, because I don't know if Zendaya would come back or any of these other people would come back, because you already lost half of the cast anyway. A lot of the cast that made season 1 what season 1 was, you lost. So I don't know. I know I'm enjoying myself so far with season 3, where I did not think I was at all. I wasn't even planning on watching season 3. But I popped on the first episode, got into it, and here I am now going into the 5th episode. I want to show the trailer for the 5th episode, but I'm pretty sure, actually, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. I'm pretty sure they're going to ding it, but whatever.
Ever since you came around, it's been a cascade of trouble. Something about you gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Another good character. Hold on. Am I still on here? Okay. Something just happened. Like, had a blackout or something. Anyway, another good character. My screen, everything went dark, then just came back on. Another good character here. Emotionless as fuck. Emotionless as fuck. Can't remember his name. I'm not. There's some. These are new characters that I'm not that invested in yet, but except for Alamo.
It's been a cascade of trouble.
Emotionless as fuck. He works for Alamo. Alamo, it's a lot of black folks who work for Alamo. So it's right now, Lori's got the country ass white folks that are calling them the N-word, not their names and shit. And then you got Alamo and the black folks that are calling them country ass crackers and shit like this and blah, blah, blah. So you got a feud going on, a drug racial feud going on between them right now. And he works again for Alamo.
And about you gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Guess you just hit 50,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
For my fans, I'll do anything.
What's stopping you? Move in.
It's not personal, it's just business.
Cass, have some fucking balls.
Cassie is still dumb as shit. And this is all going to blow up in Cassie's face. I don't know how, but it's all going to blow up in Cassie's face. I can't tell. Has she divorced Nate? Is that what they were implying when she said that she pawned her ring and she got her own place? I think she's divorced Nate at this point in time. She's now relying on OnlyFans. She's doing these OnlyFans ass stunts that you see a lot of these OnlyFans stars do and things like that, where they're, you know, trying to get you to buy whatever by doing some crazy ass shit online. She's doing that kind of stuff. Now she's in that world where I think that was her first time doing coke. And yeah, Cassie's off her rocker. But that's typical Cassie. She's still the same.
Want me? Make me yours.
Bring guys to my apartment.
It's nothing like that.
I'm really counting on you, babe.
Oh, I didn't even talk about Hunter's character. I don't know why I'm blanking on names right now. She is an escort. She's an artist. She was in art school, but one of her roommates was an escort. So she started talking to her about doing escort work and how it's so much easier. You make so much more money than if you're doing this, you're doing that. Jules, thank you, Torian. Jules is Jules, instead of going to art school and sitting in class and doing the same things that you already know how to do and you feel like you're not learning anything, you become an escort like me. I'm telling you, She Loves Fantasy. There's a lot going on. Become an escort like me. She becomes an escort where she meets all these guys. She has all these different clients until she meets the right client. And that's the only client that she is now fucking with. Is this old guy that, like, the last time they did something, he like saran wrapped her in like high heels and a bikini and was like making out with her through the saran wrap. And I'm like, what type of freaky ass fucking pee on me shit is this? So I'm like, what the? There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
I'm not going on.
That's your sister.
Yeah. I'm very, very disappointed in you. One more chance. You cannot trust this people. Very disappointed in you.
Oh my Lord. You got Nate in his ass again.
You cannot trust this bitch.
Tell me the truth.
I'm invested because they're doing crazy shit. That's why I'm invested. They are doing off the wall crazy shit. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, this last episode, this was one of the big ending scenes here. You can see she got blood all over her face. This is Lori's people coming over to get them back for killing Lori's bird. You got Dwayne from Different World in it. Yeah. You got it's, and then so yeah, they did recognize. So they do know they know it was Lori's people that did it because Rue recognizes. Damn, I forget her name with the lips. She was helping her do the fentanyl bulbs across Mexico and shit them out and stuff. This girl right here, this Hispanic girl with the
Even the driver?
Her. She right now suspects Rue of being a snitch, I think. I don't know if so much working for the police, but definitely suspects Rue of some shit because she overheard Rue talking to one of the girls, asking one of the girls, "Are you being forced to, do this type of stuff, or is this something you want to do?" Blah blah. So she's told on Rue, and Rue the police called Rue and said, "Hey, you're compromised." The girl in there just told him that they think that you're, Faye, thank you. They think that you are a snitch. So you need to pretend like I'm your mom talking to you about your grandmother. You need to find a way to blame this all on her. Get her blamed and all this kind of stuff. So then Rue, of course, tries to flip the switch. But as she flips the switch, they're arguing. That's when Lori's people pop in with the guns. Bow, 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 bow. Everybody on the floor. Open the goddamn safe. People get shot up. Blood on people's faces. But they found out that it was Lori's people anyway, and that's of course going to play out in the next episode. So if you were watching Euphoria, when was that? Was that 2018? If you were watching Euphoria when Euphoria first dropped, the first season was, again, great TV. Great TV. So many twists, turns, jaw-dropping moments. Second season, I would give it the same thing. This season, again, it's not the same, feeling as the first two seasons, but you're still on a ride. So if you like those type of shows where you are on a ride, you're on a roller coaster, you don't know what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next, and it's spontaneous ass jaw-dropping shit. When you're at the end of each episode, you're like, what? Turn on Euphoria. Turn on Euphoria. That's the thing, Grand Region Thrag. If we're talking about the first two seasons, it's about Rue. She is a high schooler in the first two seasons. Well, she's the main character, but I would say there's several main characters because you're going through several different perspectives of different people's lives. But Rue is definitively the main character. She's in high school in the first season. She's a drug addict. She meets Jules, who is a transgender girl played by Hunter. I forget Hunter's last name, Shafe, something like that. Who she meets. Rue, I think, is bisexual. Who she meets, falls in love with, does anything for Rue. But also keeping in mind she's a drug addict or does anything for Jules. Keep in mind Rue is a drug addict. Then you've got the Nate perspective. He's played by why am I blanking on people's names today? Help me. Nate, actor. But anyway, played by Nate. There's the Nate perspective where Nate is the basically school bully, but not just a school bully. Jacob Elordi, thank you, Torian. Not just the school bully, but he is also like big shot, big guy on campus, captain of the football team. His dad is a big time person in the community. I think he owns like a construction company or something like that. His dad is secretly fucking classmates of his, boys, girls, filming it and all this kind of stuff. And it fucks Jules, the transgender girl, films it. I think he finds out. I haven't seen season 1 in a long time, so I would have to go back. But essentially, it's about high schoolers doing high school TV shit. Because not to say that some of those things in high school are not happening, but definitely exaggerated high school TV shit. Where there are drugs involved, there is sex involved, there are children involved, there are teenage children involved, there are drug dealers involved, there's death involved, crazy adventures with drugs and trying to stay out of trouble with drugs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. His dad is a sex addict and on a sex offenders list. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And Rue's mom is not in the show no more. Rue's sister's not in the show no more. Several key characters aren't in the show no more. But that's because they took so long. They took so damn long to get to this season. Torian said the actor who plays Nate acted his ass off. Oh, yes, in that one scene where he practically begging for help. He acted his ass off in that scene. Jacob Elordi, like you said, he acted his ass off in that scene. He also acted his ass off in the season one. Was it season 1? Where he was into it with his dad, where he was arguing with his dad in his room. That I said Jacob Elordi needed an Emmy for that. That was some great acting. That was some great acting from him. Really good show, though. You should check it out. I don't know if I made it any interesting, but check it out. It says, sucks one of your last roles played a sex addict pedo. Yeah. Could be budget reasons. Could have been budget reasons. I honestly don't remember what all the drama was around season 3. I remember at the early days I was following it, but then it just got so drug out. Then it was like, oh, we're doing it. Then they're not doing it. And Zendaya might come back and she might not come back. And I was like, oh, fuck it. Fuck it. I don't even care no more. And they did it. And he is a murderer or killer in the last movie. Let's fancy said, well, Zendaya stayed booked and been busy. She did. She did and does. Hold on. Epstein activity. No Epstein activity. No children like that. Well, I guess a child is a child, huh? 15 to 5, whatever. So yeah, they're still children. Teenage children, but children. Not but it's nothing like that. Nothing like that is happening. Nate's dad hooks up with some of these people which he doesn't know because she lied on, like, Hunter Jules' character lied about her age on the dating app, so he's under the assumption that I think she's older than what she is, and I think the boy that he hooked up with, that was some high schooler. I think he was under the impression that he was older than he was too. So no, it's not like there's a sex ring going on in Euphoria of predators. Let's see. I watched the actor who played Ashtray for Damon Wayne, but he might be too old now. Ashtray. Oh, yeah. I did. He's a twin. I wanted him for a while there as Damon Wayne too, but yeah, he might be too old now. Well, actually, I wouldn't say that. I think he's too old now. I think he's like freshly maybe 20. Let me see. He is played by Javon Walton. He's 19. Him and his brother. He's a twin and they box. I think their main thing is that they do boxing over acting. I don't know that he's acted in anything else outside of that. Looking at his Instagram here, doesn't look like it. Looks like he just strictly is doing his boxing stuff now. He was doing his boxing stuff when he did Euphoria, but I don't know if it was as serious. Maybe it was as serious then. Maybe he's just older and now it's being more lucrative for him. But I don't see this. There's not a shit deal on here about acting. All of this is his next match, training, press. So I don't know what level of boxing he's in, but he's in the shape to be Damon. He's definitely in the shape to be Damon. Oh, I thought that was on the screen. If you guys want to see it. Yeah, looks like he does all boxing now. Yeah. Well, again, I don't pay attention to boxing or any of that stuff. I don't know what level this is. He's pretty small. So does that mean that this is like a low level? I don't know. But I don't see, there's nothing even about Euphoria on here. Not even like a, hey, shout out season 3. They haven't even brought up his character yet, actually. Yeah. That's the only thing I see here outside of boxing. So he may be done with acting, but he could still play. Still play him. What's his name wants to come back as Damon as well. What's his not come back as Damon, but he wants to come back as Nightwing. Brandon Thwaites, is that his name? Yeah, he wants to come back. Yeah, he's only 19. He's got time. But I mean, his thing is, if his thing is boxing, he might be like, yeah. Why did he do Euphoria in the first place? It may not even be that. No, it was that one that did Euphoria. Because I said he's a twin, but it took me directly to him. What's his twin doing? Javen and Jaden. What's the twin doing? Okay, so while he's busy doing that, the twin is busy doing baseball. The twin plays baseball. Looks like the twin's pretty busy and serious in baseball. Again, what level of league baseball this is? It's not the MLB. But, he might be in college. Yeah, these are kids. He's in college. These are kids. He's 19 too. They're twins. So yeah, he's in college. He plays baseball in college. He does boxing. Don't know how Euphoria landed in there in his lap. All right. Next thing here, the kid who plays Bruce in Gotham wants to come back as Nightwing. Who played Bruce in Gotham? I didn't watch Gotham. Oh, this kid. David Mazuru. What does David look like now? I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Hold on. I actually am not against Brandon Thwaites coming back. Oh, he doesn't have anything. Oh, wait, no, he does. I'm gonna say pass. If we have yeah, there we go. Well, that doesn't really help me. But Brandon Thwaites, I like him. He played Robin in that terrible Teen Titans show, and he played Nightwing. Went on to play Nightwing in that show. I'm team him. I'm team him to come back if they want to bring Nightwing, someone that's already played him. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is this stuff. Now, I don't really talk about the Doomsday stuff like that unless it's something that might be somewhat real or tangible. I'm not saying that this is real. I have no idea. But apparently there has been he does look like Nightcrawler, doesn't he, Lawrence? There has been a Russian telegram. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. It was this says a Reddit user claims to have access to Avengers Doomsday plot details backed by 500 photos from a Russian telegram breach of Marvel's servers back in February. These are not confirmed plot details. They are descriptions of unleaked images and rough draft scenes. All right. So before I get into this, if you are someone that does not want to know about what potentially may be really real here, or what potentially may be a crock of shit here, what is going to be going down in Doomsday, now is your time. So we're going to get into this really quickly. Let's see. All right, this says these plot details are from all the way back in February from someone who had / has access to around 500 of the 50K photos that were hacked by the Russian Telegram group. And one more note, a lot of these aren't like exact plot details, but descriptions of images that have remained unleaked, and then details from a rough draft, the same rough draft that John Campion received. So this is the same rough draft that John said that he received. That's got John and Rob really excited about the movie. Now, if you've been watching John Campia or ever have watched John Campia, he has talked about Doomsday, and he said that him and Rob have read the script due to sources that he has, and that it's going to exceed expectations. They are so excited, they cannot wait. Blah 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 blah. So apparently, what we're about to get into is somewhat of the same, or not somewhat, the same rough draft that he received. So let's see if our excitement matches his. Only reason why he says these specifically is because the images he has backs these up. Goes on to say, okay, Pepper Potts is in the movie. There's an image of her talking to a man in a suit. Toby fights Wolverine, X-Men. Toby fights Wolverine, X-Men Earth, and Rami Earth collide. This has been heavily rumored. Remember, the very beginning of the film, it's rumored that the X-Men universe is going to collide with Tobey Maguire's universe. Tobey Maguire is going to survive by way of some getting aboard of some raft or something, or like something like that, or like the TVA saves him or something. I don't know. Something like that. But he gets saved. His universe gets destroyed, but he gets saved. It's also been out there that the X-Men are currently playing the game of worlds, meaning that they are very much aware of the incursions, and they are going around destroying worlds before theirs can be destroyed. It is a way for them to bypass their world being, if you read the comics, you know this, their world being taken out by an incursion, but only buys them a little bit of time, but they have to kill billions on trillions in order to do so. So that part this is all lining up so far with some of the stuff that's already out there. This goes on to say, and then what we've heard before, Toby is in a mocap suit. He's doing classic poses across from Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, who is in costume. They are on a construction bridge thing. It's raining. Wolverine has a black briefcase device, and Toby is trying to get it off of him. It goes on to say there's images of Deadpool having his crotch over Reed. Imagine that Deadpool scene where he hits someone in the face with his that scene. Oh, I don't know, how is that going to work though with Deadpool in these serious moments. Then they stand up and point at each other is what they're saying. Each other, like the Spider-Man meme. This happens in the X Mansion. The reason I'm making that face is because from everything we've heard about the X Mansion thus far, if the Fantastic Four are there, then that means the stuff is already breaking out. That's a very serious moment. Fighting, at least. There's some fighting going on. You got Sentinels involved. You've got Gambit fighting Shang-Chi, from what we've heard about the the description from CinemaCon. I just wonder how they're doing Deadpool in these serious moments. It says during the F4 post-credit scene, Doomsday will show where Victor was at. I'm assuming this is supposed to be why. Will show why Victor was at the Fantastic Four's house. Reed and Johnny were at a baseball game. What? And then it goes on to say, in images, they fly off in the Fantastic car. Reed and Johnny enter the Baxter building, confused, seeing Doom with Sue. Okay, so during the scene when Doom comes in at the Baxter building, Reed and Johnny were at a baseball game. They come back and find Doom with Sue. According to the draft, Victor is an old friend with Reed and Sue. They've known each other for years. The Fantastic Four don't believe he'd ever betray them. Okay, so they know Reed, or they know Doom. Okay. Doom is from the Fantastic Four world, which makes sense why they showed Latveria at the nations meeting, the world meeting. It says Doom is from the Fantastic Four world. The F4 bring Doom and Steve on to the ship to go to 616, likely the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, and that's what we've heard too. They do, he convinced them to go on the ship with them, and they go. Is that it? Hold hold on. That can't be it. Hold on. So far, that lines up with other stuff that we've heard. That is it. Because this is the one from Reddit. It's the exact same one from Reddit. Yeah, it's the exact same one from Reddit. So that is it. There is not another one. You double check. Nope, that's it. So yeah. All this stuff lines up with what we've already kind of heard, stuff we've talked about before. We already know that Doom is going to be with the Fantastic Four when he goes into Earth 616 and they meet up, or rather that they come to the Baxter building. I thought that's what it was. And then from the Baxter building, they all go to the X-Men universe. That's where we see Shuri with him, the New Avengers, Sam's Avengers, and they're all going to be in the Baxter building. And I think this is before they go to the X-Men universe, fight the X-Men, and all that kind of stuff ensues after being manipulated and played by Doom. So, the other leak that we saw, if we're to believe it, is that Peggy and Steve are also coming from Steve's universe, the Fantastic Four universe. Don't know if I believe that one. I believe they're in a completely different universe. I just don't believe that would make sense for Steve to be in that universe and not get involved with the shit that just went down in Fantastic Four. So, I don't know. I know that this still didn't do if this is the thing that all of it that John read, I don't feel the way John felt. I don't feel like, oh, yay. I think the thing that's going to do that for me is the trailer itself. When we finally get to see the trailer itself, we finally get to see something tangible from Doomsday. That's not, oh, this scooper says this, or this hacker has this, or these are the exact, concept leaked art from the movie or whatever. When it's not, my phone done. When it's not that stuff, then I think I'm going to be more excited for it. But as of right now, I'm still in the same spot for Doomsday. Not that I'm not excited for Doomsday, because I do want to see all of this. I want to see how they're doing everything. I want to see these heroes. I want to see how Doom is going to be portrayed. And let's actually look at this. This, I guess, was RDJ at some event where he displayed what could potentially be the Doctor Doom voice.
For you see, I've always been the caretaker. Let's put some shine on our girl.
Now, that may not be it at all, but people they were saying that he was teasing the Doctor Doom voice. If he is teasing the Doctor Doom voice, let's listen again.
I've always been the caretaker.
I hope not. I hope that's not the Doom voice, because that's not it. That's not it. I hope that was just him, inside joke between whoever he's presenting this star to, but that's not it. That is not it. And if Doom sounds like that, then oh boy. I don't think that's what he's going to sound like, but if he does, oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm still not there yet. I'm still not there as far as excitement or whatever. It's curiosity more than anything. Yeah, I'm confused how they're doing that too. It's curiosity more than anything. I want to see the X-Men. I'll show this too. I think I bookmarked it, or did I unbookmark it? This was put out by Yellow Minutes or whatever that new, Scooper's name is. Yellow Minutes. It's supposed to be Miss Minutes. Anyway, this is an AI image. But they are saying that these are going to be the X-Men at the X-Mention that are featured in the in Doomsday. We know Gambit's in it. We know Marston's in it. We know that Beast is in it. We've heard Famke's in it. Claremont swears up and down that Famke is in it. You know, he was involved and got called out to help with some of the, I don't know if writing or consulting or something involved with. Let me make sure I got that right. Hold on. Yeah. Marvel writer Chris Claremont says Famke's Jean Grey will return as, or Famke Jensen will return as Jean Grey in Avengers Doomsday. Now, this was said back in January of this year. There's that video as well of, I think he was on a podcast or something, and he was talking about it. Actually, this is on damn Threads. Hold on. Let's do this. Boom.
Yeah, what do you think of the Doomsday teaser with Cyclops?
How to put this tactfully? Have you ever noticed that with almost all costumes that work in comic books, in real life, they don't register as brilliantly as they do in print? I mean,
yeah,
Jim's designs are gorgeous on the page. And the thing I find most wonderful about it is the bringing back
James Marston, bringing back James Marston?
the original James Marston. No, they're bringing back the original cast, including Famke.
Yeah, so he had said
What a
that
difference!
back.
What a difference a costume makes.
Yeah,
he had said that back on that podcast. The dude up in the top right, he does a lot of Marvel Legends leaks and things like that. So he did the podcast with him. Chris Claremont had said that Famke was coming back. So I strongly believe Halle Berry's coming back. If she doesn't, then somebody dropped the ball somewhere. I believe that this should be the X-Men Fox cast that you do bring back. We don't know who's all revealed or who all's going to be there for sure. We do know that obviously Nightcrawler is going to be there. Hugh Jackman will be there. Gambit will be there. Marsden will be there. Beast will be there. Famke allegedly will be there. I strongly believe Halle will be there. Now, as far as Psylocke, Rogue, and Jubilee, and Iceman, and Colossus, I'm not sure. But again, I would imagine if you want this to be this big Fox send-off that you've been wanting it to be, and you want this movie to be as monumental as you want this movie to be, then you need to be throwing the sink at these people to get them here. No, Greenridge and Thrag. Storm is not confirmed. She is not confirmed, but I do believe that she is in the film. So if this was the X-Men team that showed up in Doomsday, I'd be all for that. I'd be fine with that. I need to see and would like to see all of these guys back. Every single one of them. Again, we don't know if that's happening. Don't know if that's happening for sure. I haven't heard shit about Bobby being in it. Or Rogue. Or Jubilee for that matter. But that doesn't mean that these people aren't in it. I just haven't heard anything about any of the other X-Men. Nothing, they did reshoots with body doubles and more stuff like that. So, what is this AI shit? Yeah, they did shoots with reshoots with body doubles and extras and all that kind of stuff. So maybe they've refilmed some of this stuff. Maybe they've gotten stuff with Hallie in there where she wasn't able to make before, maybe due to scheduling conflicts. Maybe she can get in there now. I don't know. We haven't heard anything else about from Scoopers or anything about any of it. So I think it's really just going to be, this might be one of those ones where you actually walk in, it's just like a shocker. Or maybe as we get closer, maybe more stuff comes out. I'm not sure. What is this one?
You're explaining to Bachelor Nation why our movie is the perfect date movie while holding this. Oh, I love the smell of sunflowers. I'm not doing either of those. Yes, you are, because you are a confident, powerful person. And 18 to 49-year-old women are super important demo for us. No cap. What? No cap. What does that mean? It's what all of my fellow Gen Zers say. Slay, FR, trauma, Genergy, 4-hour work week, quiet quitting. Look, the point is... I'm out of here. All right. Stay off camera. I'll handle this. Thing you love. You really zoom into complex relationship dynamics. There's ample amounts of cheeky humor. And in the end, well, I'm not going to lie, it was quite a payday for us. You promised me the Bachelorette was coming. I made a lot of promises, buddy. And I'll tell you, you are delivering.
What is this one from?
I can't do this.
Is this for? What is this from? Is that from Deadpool and Wolverine, or is that? It's not for Doomsday. Anyway, yeah, the X-Men are returning. We all know that, but I hope that it's more than just what have been announced in the chairs. Don't think you can have an X-Men Euphoria universe that they've been describing without all of the X-Men. So yeah, we'll see.
Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes?
One of my favorite ones. The Sentinels in the back. This whole yeah. I'm very interested. I'm curious. I'm curious to how this is going to pan out for sure. But yeah. That's what's going on with that. That's what they've gotten the plot leaks. There's really nothing new to add to what we didn't really already know from what's already been put out there. Just really a little bit of things added to it. Nothing really, but a few things. Again, if that's what John read, and I have a hard time believing it is, if that's everything John read, then how the hell did you get excited off that? But we'll see. We shall see. I don't think there's anything else that happened today. It's been, like I said, last week was a very terrible news week, and then this week it's already started off slow as well. John Favreau shows appreciation. No, don't care. Don't care. Mando Grogu doing all the screenings. Where are they at? I don't even know where they are. The finale of Daredevil is tonight. For those of you watching Daredevil, that finale is happening tonight. I have not watched anything but the first episode. I don't know that I'm going to watch any of the others. Even though I've not heard anything bad about it, I'm just trying to get to Doomsday, if you want me to be honest. That's all. Just ready to get to Doomsday at this point. Yeah, there's nothing else besides whatever is going on with Mando and Grogu, and there's test screening. There's nothing else going on. And the trailer for season 2 finale.
All you need to know is that I'm running this city and it's thriving. Anything else is above your pay grade, little man.
Your video proves no wrongdoing by the mayor, Murdoch. It's all hearsay.
Correct, but we've established there was another witness on that boat, haven't we? A witness who, in fact, is in this courtroom today. Isn't that right, Mr. Mayor? You and I both know who Daredevil is. He's the man who knows exactly what happened on the Northern Star. He knows exactly what happened in my apartment, and he knows exactly who the real criminal in this courtroom is. Isn't that right?
You are a fool.
No, I'm not.
Is he about to tell the court that he's Daredevil? I haven't been watching it. So is he telling everyone that he's Daredevil? Oh my. Very interesting. That scene, that 1 minute was good. Because I haven't watched anything but the first episode. That was a good intense scene there for them. Yeah, like Quasimodo said, there was a trailer for Odyssey. We'll watch it. I watched it. I watched it. I didn't really care for it that much. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that great. Yeah, I still like the first trailer better. This one's not bad. The first trailer is just better, but we'll see. I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to be there. I love this. I love this story. I like Christopher Nolan, so I'm still going to be there. Still going to be there whenever this drops. But it does still look good. It's not as good as that first trailer, though. I think that was it. You see The Devil Wears Prada. The banking 20-something million more than Michael in its opening weekend. The second biggest of 2026 behind Mario Galaxy. Haven't seen it yet either, but I knew that was going to be great because it's a cult classic. This too, they said a possible Kim Possible animated reboot has been spotted at the SAG listing on their website. Would you watch the Kim Possible animated reboot? No. I can watch Kim Possible regular on Disney if I want. I liked Kim Possible. Grew up on Kim Possible. I remember a lot of the stuff word for word from Kim Possible. I remember Rufus's song that used to come on during the commercials, Nick and Mole-Rat's song, the rap. Great cast, great show. Kim Possible was my shit. So, yeah, I liked Kim Possible a lot. Don't know if I'd watch an animated reboot, though. And I'm a big kid. I still watch a lot of that stuff. So, don't know if I would, though. But I believe, yeah, Static is on Tubi. They've got a lot of good stuff on Tubi, actually. A lot of good stuff. So if you have Tubi or don't have Tubi, it's free. Download it. Got a lot of good stuff on there. But anyway, like I said, I think that is it for the day. I don't see my notifications is so. Normally this thing is like all the way. It's just been so slow. Not been anything going on. But yeah, you guys, if we got some good stuff in it. What the fuck? If there's a big enough news day tomorrow, I'll be back and I'll do some more stuff. We'll talk about some stuff. I might even come on, do a tier list of Star Wars projects thus far that they've got, and do a tier list on those. I saw some other people doing that, and I was like, oh yeah, that would be fun. I'd do that. So might do that. If there's some other good things going on, we'll talk about those things as well and be back on here tomorrow. So yeah, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Appreciate all of you guys being here. And I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out. See you then.
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Travel down the road and back again.
Hey, so we started from the bottom, now we're here, girl. Oh, yeah. This is my part right here. Ooh, hallelujah.